Okay.
Hey guys, welcome to our channel. My name is Phil and this is my wife Vanessa. And today we're going to give you guys a tour of our van life kitchen. So our home is about 35 square feet, and I'd say the kitchen is probably maybe 2 or 5, I don't know. But let's start off with our cooking stove. We used to have a cheaper version camping stove that we got from Walmart for about $35. But after a few months of using it, we realized it's just not strong enough. I'd say in the price range like $40 to $60 you could get a camping stove around 10,000 to 12,000 BTU, and that just wasn't enough for us. It would take a lot longer to boil water and to cook meat or vegetables or whatever. So we decided to go to REI and get this Camp Chef Everest. It was about $125. It gives out about 20,000 BTU. Now we can pretty much cook whatever you want. Boiling water, it's really fast and the food comes out a lot better and quicker. So it's worth the money. So if you're gonna have it for a while, if you decide to go camping and live in a van, I'd say spend the extra $60 and get a better stove. And for the propane tank, this is a 1 gallon propane tank that I got from Amazon.com for $50. We only fill it up maybe once every 2 months, so it lasts a while for 1 gallon, and every time we fill it up it's no more than $5, so it's pretty darn cheap.
Alright, so a lot of people ask us if we have a fridge or something in our car. We don't actually, but we do have this soft-sided cooler. We got this at REI for maybe $30 or $40, and it's been pretty useful, but it's actually a lot larger than we needed it to be. We discovered that since we go shopping every day, we don't really need to use it so much, so we kind of just use it as storage and for dry food. So if you want to take a look inside, so as you can see, most of the space here is taken up by our thermal cooker, so I mean, this is just a good place to put it since we don't have much room else in the back otherwise. Otherwise, we kind of have a couple of our like oils and spices and stuff that we have. Most of that is right here. We also sometimes go to Sprouts and get those little packs of spices rather than all the jars because they kind of take up a lot of room. So we have a little bag full of spices here. A lot of the stuff we kind of had when we moved out and we just haven't really been using. We're pretty Asian, so you know, we have our oyster sauce, curry, we have soy sauce, you know, all that stuff that we need as Asians.
I also have the Vietnamese drip coffee.
Yeah, Phil really likes his Vietnamese drip coffee, so he specifically got the drip coffee thing and Vietnamese coffee. This is by far one of the largest things in here.
I don't drink a lot of coffee, but when I do, Vietnamese coffee is the way to go.
He makes sure that it's the good one. So yeah, we just have a couple other things like lemon juice and honey. We actually haven't found that we've needed to refrigerate this stuff so much. So anything that's fresh, we just get it. Occasionally we'll have a couple packs of spaghetti in here just in case. And that's pretty much all we use it for. If we do go on a long trip, sometimes we will bring the ice blocks, you know, that you can just put in the freezer and freeze. So we leave that at work or at school or something like that, freeze them and then put them in here. That's what this little pouch is for. And then we might keep like a few things in here to keep cool for a couple days, but that's about it. So the next thing we're going to talk about is just like what we have in terms of pots and pans. We just have a nice collapsible bin here that we put all this stuff in. So firstly, we have this really giant pencil case that I bought at Staples, and we just put all of our big utensils in it. So we have, you know, like bamboo spatula, we've got our peeler, the knife, which I was a little bit picky about. I just wanted to have like a nice one-piece knife that'd be easier to use and clean. And so it all kind of fits really nicely in here. We hadn't planned it that way, but it really does. And so it just closes up like that and keeps it separate from everything else in here. We also have our 2 really awesome thermoses that we use for snow camping. Keeps things warm for a good day and a half. This is the primary wok or pan that we use for our cooking. We might have to actually like move this down because it's a little bit too big to fit, but that works pretty well still. We have a couple of like random rags in here just to like dry our stuff, and we put them up here to dry off. Got another big pot that we use for like say spaghetti and that sort of thing. Kind of use the space here to store, so we've got cups and a couple of other various Tupperwares and stuff. We've got a couple of cutting boards that we use here. This is the cable that we use to attach the stove to the propane tank. There. We also have this steaming rack that we use. It's very Asian as well. And our omelet pan. Pretty useful. This is actually a bucket that we use. It's a foldable bucket, and it's actually the one that we used in Phil's video about taking a shower outside. We just use this as the bucket to hold the water. But we can also use it to like wash vegetables and that sort of thing. So it's pretty useful to have, and it folds up really nicely and small. We've got Phil's Ninja here at the top, and this is something he really loves.
You guys make smoothies out of it. Yeah,
we have been making smoothies, which is really nice. We have a really awesome ladle that looks like a little dinosaur. So when you put them in the pot, it's just like a little dinosaur head at the top, which is really cute. Sushi Maker mat. We actually have used it a few times, which is kind of fun. A pie tin, which I haven't yet used.
We never use it.
I use it when I baked a lot, but I mean I can't really bake here, so it's just sitting here. And then we have some tin foil. Yeah, and also actually this is something that I think is really cool. And it's actually reusable saran wrap, so it's actually like beeswax paper. But we don't actually need to use it so much since we don't actually use the fridge and have to like store things for a long time. So when the time comes, I will use it, but it's actually a really cool product. And all fits really nicely back in here. And that fits under there really nicely.
And finally, we have our little spice rack here. We got some garlic salt, black pepper grinder, and some like, I don't know what, lemon pepper. We got more spices in the cooler too, so we got soy sauce. So whenever we don't want to get our spices from the cooler, we got all these little bottles to fill them up in, so we can just grab them from here. Easier access. Oil and sugar. This is a soap, dishwashing soap. And up here, this is where we store our, I don't know, condiments, like tea, ketchup, mayonnaise, stuff like that. And this is our camping stove. Whenever we don't want to pull out the big stove, or let's say we want to just make instant noodles, this comes in pretty handy. And that is our tiny little kitchen in our little tiny home. But next week we are heading up to Canada. We're taking a road trip up to Canada for 2 weeks. So for those of you who haven't subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe and follow us on our little
mini adventure.
Yeah. And if you have any questions, you know what to do. See you guys.